So cleaning your airbrush between colors would have to be one of the most frustrating things. In this video, I'm going to share with you my tips on how to flush through the color so that you don't have to do a complete clean every color change. Let's get into it right now. So if you're using yellow and you want to switch to a red, it's pretty easy to do so. So even if you've thinned it out a bit, I tend to put it back into the original bottle. If you don't want to do this, grab yourself some empty bottles and use them instead. So you can see I've got some residual paint left in there. Now you could just blast that out in your tabletop cleaning station, but that's going to take a bit more time. Instead, you could just blast it out in a paper towel, and I'm still leaving in some of the paint, as you can see. Going to add my red, and again using the towel, spray out until it becomes completely red. Pop your lid back on. You can see how nicely that red sprays out. It's got no trace of that yellow at all. Just flows through really nicely when you're using a complementary color. Now, one thing to note is that obviously that's mixed with a bit of that yellow now, so you don't want to go and put that back into the original red bottle. You may want to get an empty bottle and just store that in a separate container and just mark it as a pre-mixed color. Now I want to switch to a color that's not as complementary, and again, I'm just going to blast out the red. You can see how much paint still comes out. Just keep going until it runs clear, or stops for that matter. There we go. Now you can see there's plenty of red still in that cup, and let's see how it goes switching back to a completely different color now, white. And this is going to be the hardest one to switch back to because anything darker will flow through a lot easier, but this could just go pink. So I want to put some white in there because I'm going to have to flush out a lot of this red. You can see I'm getting that pink straight off the bat. So this is also a good way if you want to do a lighter shade of a colour. You've got some colour left in your colour cup, add some white to it, and it's going to run through. And now you can see I'm still getting pink. It's going to take a while to get through, and I actually don't think it's going to completely go back to the white. So you can see that going back to white isn't going to work. All it's going to do is give you a lighter version of your color. So you can definitely see from that demo, you can do it with the gravity feed, but because it's got the larger cup, you tend to add in more paint and it's harder to just flush it through. It'll work for going from yellows to reds and then gradually going darker. If you go, say, violet or even some browns, you can flush them through without cleaning. But if you want to go back to white, you really do need to flush out your airbrush completely and put that white in so that it's nice and clean. Now using the side feed, and this time some colors from Createx, these are transparent. I'm going to start with this cobalt blue and only going to put a little bit in. You don't need a lot. Spray that through. So just going ahead using that to paint with. And now, because I want to put the Viridian in, I need to blast out what's left in there. You can see there's hardly anything left in the colour cup, but it's still painting for quite some time, so you really just need drops of paint when using a side feed airbrush. That'll do. And now a few drops of the Viridian, and because I've added the colour in, I need to blast it out until it comes through. And you can see already that's coming through nice and clean. No trace of that blue. And very, very quick colour change. You can see that colour left in there. Let's put it to the test and go back to the yellow, blasting that out. Just want to get rid of that Viridian. Because the yellow is lighter, this could be a lot more difficult. You can see now that I'm getting to that base of that cobalt blue, some of that's coming through again. Add some yellow, blast it through until we see, you can see it's going green. Can we get it to a clean yellow? Might be a bit difficult. I don't think it's going to happen. It's not bad, but it's still a bit of a greeny yellow. You can definitely notice it there. So even though that's given us a nice, almost like a little bit of a lime colour, it's definitely not yellow, and you can probably tell in there I've totally flushed that through. So what I'm going to try now is putting a bit of reducer through it. You can also use just water and airbrush cleaner. And I'll just go one more. So again, I'm still not flushing totally through the airbrush. I'm going to use the wider washing brush, get that in there and see if that helps at all. So just clean that colour cup enough so that I can get that brighter yellow. Alright, so I've got the yellow in there. And there you go. Back to its nice bright yellow. So by just using that washing brush, that's just allowed me to quickly flush that through with a bit of reducer. I'm still not pulling the entire airbrush apart, so I'm not removing this handle, taking the needle out, flushing through the back and flushing through there. All I'm doing is giving that a bit of a flush, only when I'm going back to my lighter colours, and then using the washing brush to get rid of some of that residual paint and absorb it so that I can quickly put in the next colour and it's nice and clean from there. Again, if you are going to do white, then I'd recommend you give it a total clean. But either way, it's going to help you when switching between all these different colours. Anything that's complementary, you can pretty much just flush it through. When going to the lighter ones, as you've seen before, you'll probably need to use some reducer or airbrush cleaner or water, and you can get yourself the wider brush as well, or use another type of brush just to clean the colour cup, and then you'll be able to move through your colours a lot quicker. So just going back to the gravity feed now, let's see if I can use a similar technique. Blast that through. So you see now what I'm left with. Bit of reducer in there. Blast that out. You can see there's still some in there. This time now coming in with that brush. Clean the paint off the sides. Blast her out again. Definitely getting better. Do one more little squirt. You just got to weigh this up because this is taking a lot longer. Just want to see if it's possible though. Still got some residual paint, but we'll drop some white in. I still don't think it's going to work because the white is so sensitive. You can see it's already gone pink, but it is brighter than before. So by using the reducer and the brush, we've definitely got it to come through without going pink. However, I would still not risk it. You can see now that we're at the end of it, that pink is coming back through. So use what I showed you within this video to easily and quickly switch between colors that are complementary to each other. If you're going to go for a lighter color, then like I said, use the reducer and that brush or any other brush just to quickly clean your color cup and then switch from there, blast it through. If you are going to go back to white, then you will need to do a complete clean. And to learn how to fully clean your airbrush, I'll pop a link in the description below. So to fast track your learning, you can definitely check out our online airbrushing course at airbrushaasylum.thinkific.com, or you can continue to watch some of the other videos that I've got listed here. And until next time, go grab your airbrush, do some amazing artwork yourself, and I'll see you again very, very soon in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.